Alright, so we are about to get Burnice's rerun in Zenless Zone Zero, and she is still a pretty solid character for a lot of players. So today, we're going to first give a quick recap of what Burnice can do, and then we're going to talk about how good she is currently to see whether or not you should pull for her if you're a player who doesn't have Burnice. But if you do have Burnice already, I am also going to be talking about if you should have some more vertical investment with her, like pulling for her signature or an extra mindscape for her as well. So to start out with her kit recap, there are two main things that we're going to talk about here, but Burnice, her main role is going to be an anomaly sub DPS character that can spend a lot of her time off field, which is very good. So the first main point is going to be her core passive, mainly the Nitro Fuel cocktail state that she can go into and should be in most of the time you're on the field, or most of the time you're in battle here. So Burnice has a unique resource called Heat. She'll be able to gain heat anytime when she uses energy. She also gets 100 heat at the start of battle, which is her full heat meter. And at 50 heat in her heat meter, she will activate the Nitro Fuel cocktail state. And even though it activates at 50 heat, once you are activated, the Nitro Fuel cocktail state will actually last until your heat is depleted. And when you do have the Nitro Fuel cocktail state active, it's going to apply the Scorched effect on enemies. And whenever any allies hit an enemy with the Scorched status, will apply afterburn damage. And the afterburn will trigger once every 1.5 seconds from Burnice. Each time you trigger afterburn, it's going to consume 8 heat, and it's going to deal some extra fire damage and also apply fire anomaly. And in addition to this as well, Burnice's additional ability, which can trigger from any anomaly character, will give an extra 65% anomaly buildup from her afterburn, which is a really good way to swap into another anomaly character and just get a lot of anomaly and disorder off, because you're going to be building up Burnice's fire anomaly regardless of who's on the field. Then the other part of her kit that I want to focus on here is her ultimate. Her ultimate is going to give you back 50 heat, and it does a bunch of fire damage and will also activate a quick assist. Now this quick assist is really important, not just because of her Nitro Fuel cocktail state, which the ultimate would automatically activate, but the quick assist here, if you activate it, it is actually going to extend the ultimate's duration, which will give you a bit more damage and a bit more anomaly buildup. And also will just overall make your buildup a lot better by just, not only applying the fire anomaly from the ultimate, but also being able to swap right into another anomaly character and activate that anomaly as well, which can lead to some pretty cool damage from disorders as well. So those are the main points about Burnice's kit here. So now let's talk about, is she still a good character? And she definitely is. She is one of the best anomaly sub DPS characters right now. And I feel like it's not going to be too easy for them to make her like unviable for a long time. So I think that is very helpful. Is it possible in the far future? Sure. Especially if we get more and more anomaly characters. But just because of how good anomaly is, it is going to be harder to make really any of them not be super relevant. Her additional ability is also really good because it's going to activate with any anomaly ally, which she makes her pretty much work with any anomaly DPS character. And just because of that, I think she does have her value for sure if you're running anomaly characters. So yeah, for Burnice, it is relatively straightforward for how good she is in the game. So now I want to talk about her pull value. I'm going to start for players who don't have Burnice yet. If you're thinking about pulling for Burnice, I think she really is only like a super good character to pull for if you are pairing her with another anomaly character, specifically an anomaly character that does want a lot more on-field time. You can pair her with characters like Miyabi, Jane, Yanagi, even Piper, who I might make a separate video on Piper herself just because that character is ridiculous for not even being an S rank, right? So any of those characters that are you wanting a lot of on-field time for anomaly, Burnice is going to work extremely well, because you just get Burnice set up and you swap out to your on-field anomaly character and they'll be able to get a bunch of good damage off. I do think also that she is a pretty solid investment for any future on-field anomaly characters. And I know we also are getting a new anomaly in 1.7 from the drip marketing. We are getting Vivian. And we'll have to see what she does. We don't have official info on that yet, so we'll have to wait for that 1.7 live stream. But depending on what Vivian does, if she's an on-fielder, then that's going to be very good for Burnice. If not, then that'll just allow you to run a second on-field team or a second team with anomaly characters with another on-field anomaly DPS if you're really going all in for using anomaly characters. But we'll talk more about Vivian once we actually have that info when she's about to be coming out. And I think also if you are just pulling for the first copy of Burnice, the W engine is not necessary to do. I don't have her signature, and I've been using her since she released, and she still does very well. So it's not necessary. It's going to give you a nice boost. So now that actually leads me right into what I think for players who already have Burnice, because I do think for these games, especially with the way that power creep can happen. Now, it hasn't been super crazy for Zenless, but the content does, gradually get harder as time goes on at the very least. So it is good to think about vertical investment as well. And I think a lot of the people are going to be thinking about, do I go for Burnice's M1 or do I go for the signature W engine? And I think both of them have pretty equal value or pretty similar value, but at least from the descriptions of them, because as I said, I have a M0 no W engine Burnice, but just based on what they give, I feel like I like the M1 a little bit more. Burnice's M1 is going to give her maximum heat amount an increase to 140. And she's also going to start with 40 heat at the start of battle in addition to what she already has, so she will still start out at her max of 140. Her M1 will also give her a damage multiplier increase for her afterburn damage based on 100% of her attack, and will also improve the anomaly buildup from her afterburn by 25% as well, making her not only deal more damage and be able to, do more anomaly buildup, but she also does have the initial burst of having more heat at the start of battle. Then for her W engine, she does get some extra energy regen from it as well, and anytime you use her EX special or assist, you're going to get 3.5% damage increase, which can stack up to 10 times. And this effect is actually doubled when she's off field, which would be a 70% damage increase. And the reason this is so important is because, sure, EX special, you'll get that every now and then if you need to regenerate her heat meter. But what's really important here is the assist attack, because all of her afterburn procs are considered assist attack damage, meaning that you're going to be able to get a really strong boost from this. And since she's going to be off field a lot, you're going to get a 70% damage increase for afterburn. And with this, you also are going to get a 50% anomaly proficiency buff for 6 seconds, as long as you have at least 5 stacks. So that's going to be really good for Burnice as well. I think regardless of if you go M1 or her signature W engine, if you can only get one of them, there's not really a wrong answer there, because I do think they both give some pretty solid value. The M1 giving you more heat and more afterburn procs per, full bar of heat, whereas for the W engine, it makes your cycles a lot faster because you're getting more energy regen, so that you can use the energy to get your heat meter back up to 100. So I think it really just depends on what you value, but overall, I think that Burnice is still a very strong character. I think it's very worth picking up. Again, we'll have to see what Vivian and other future anomaly characters will have for us, but for right now, I think Burnice is a pretty solid character to pick up, especially if you want to build up the anomaly characters on your account. So that is everything for me. I'd love to hear in the comments what you all think about Burnice here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed and want to see more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But with that, everyone, I will see you all next time.